Hello, my name is Kevin Buddy. I'm a mortgage specialist. I want to share with you today three things. One, the recent history of interest rates. Two, where interest rates are headed and why, and what the effect will be on the cost of borrowing for a home loan. I'd like to share with you first, I've been in the mortgage business for 43 years. I've experienced 3 economic downturns in the country, as well as low and high cycle of interest rates. And I find this information to be very important and impactful, and that's why I want to share it with you. So I want to start with, again, the history of interest rates. So in the 10 years prior to the economic collapse of 2008, the average rate on a 30-year mortgage was 6.71%. Pretty much unheard of in the last 10 years. Because we had an economic collapse in 2008, and in 2009, the 30-year mortgage fell into the 4s for the first time since 1964. And during the years of 2012 and 2017, mortgage rates were in the 3s. The reason that the interest rates fell was because of actions taken by the Federal Reserve Board. What they did was they began a new policy called quantitative easing. That policy allowed them to purchase $4.5 trillion of U.S. securities and mortgage-backed bonds between the years of 2008 and 2013. In addition to the quantitative easing, in 2007, the Feds lowered the Fed funds rate from 5.25% to nearly 0. So both of these actions taken by the Federal Reserve Board had a very positive effect on the economy, such that we came from a near depression to where today the gross domestic product for the United States in the second quarter alone of 2018 was 4.1%. That's a very strong economy. On top of that, the unemployment rate, which peaked at 10% in 2009, is currently at 3.9% and expected to go lower. So where are interest rates headed and why? Well, in 2015, the Federal Reserve Board announced they would begin raising the Fed funds rate, and they've done it 7 times already. And they're expected to do it 2 more times in 2018 and 3 more times next year. In addition to that, they are reversing that quantitative easing policy. They're doing that by selling all those Treasury securities and mortgage-backed bonds that they purchased, causing rates to go down. And by the year end of 2018, the rate on which they are selling those loans back into the marketplace is at $50 billion a month. That's a lot of money coming into the marketplace. In addition to that, the Federal Reserve Board's actions, the U.S. Treasury Department is increasing the issuance of securities to a reported record of $769 billion in the second half of 2018. Now, I know I threw a lot of numbers at you, so I want to explain a minute what that means. There's a lot of money coming into the marketplace. So you have the reversal of the quantitative easing. There's a lot of treasuries and mortgage-backed bonds coming. You have the U.S. Treasury issuing new securities to help cover the debt, and you have the Fed funds rate going up. All of those actions were taken, and they did cause interest rates to go down. Now the Feds are reversing those actions. Now, and to keep in mind, for the market to absorb all of these securities that are being added by the Federal Reserve Board and the Treasury Department, interest rates will need to go up. The reason? To attract foreign buyers to buy our debt. As more and more money comes on, they need to have the rates go up. So if the accumulation of all those treasuries cause rates to go down, the selling of all those treasuries will cause rates to go up. So what effect is these higher rates on the cost of home loans? And this is really what I wanted to impart on you. So a rule of thumb has been 1% increase in interest rates to keep the home loan payment the same. The cost of the home, the sales price of the home, would actually need to decrease 10% just to keep it the same. Put that into dollars and cents as an example. Assuming you wanted to buy a home and you had 20% down payment and you wanted to keep your mortgage payment at $3,500. If the rate was 3.5%, you could buy a home at $975,000. If the mortgage rate went to 5.5%, increased 2%, and you kept your mortgage payment at $3,500 a month with same 20% down, now you could only buy a $775,000 home. That's a reduction of purchasing power of over $200,000 just because of the increase in the interest rates. So please know that the cost of borrowing a home is so greatly affected, more than worrying about the adjustments of the sales price. It really has an effect on your purchasing power, and my recommendation is to take advantage and get the lowest rate possible when purchasing. And I would not wait, because I believe interest rates are going to be going up over the next several years. Until next time, I'm Kevin Buddy, your mortgage specialist.